Brian Fonseca, the director of the Jack D. Gordon Institute for Public Policy. Great to have you with us, Brian. Is the U.S. strategy paying off right now? Aid is stuck at the border, and Maduro does not appear to be stepping down anytime soon.
Well, look, it's really hard to tell whether or not the strategy is paying off. I don't think this was expected to be a short-term approach. I think this is part of an international diplomatic and economic effort to, again, push Guaido into legitimacy as president of Venezuela, reduce the influence and the power that Maduro has in an effort to try to transition the government back to some form of democracy.
Brazil and Colombia seem to also be ramping up their pressure. How long can Maduro rule in a region where powers are increasingly turning against him?
Yeah, I think it's incredibly difficult for him to sustain this pace. Of course, right now, much of it relies on the role of the military institution in Venezuela. So for the most part, the military institution is squarely behind Maduro. There are reasons for that, certainly. Intentional design by the Maduro regime to tie senior military officers to the survival of the regime through methods of corruption, through allowing them to participate in illicit activities up and down the military institution, by the way. But it's the military institution, in my opinion, that is sort of the key to transition or continuity. And that's why you see clashes taking place now and sort of pressing humanitarian aid. The military has stepped in to try to stop opposition from moving to the border in an effort to bring aid into the country. We've
seen quite a few defections over the past few days. Do you think we're finally seeing visible cracks in Maduro's support by the military for Maduro?
So we've had a few defections. I wouldn't say that's necessarily vital for right now, because it's been sort of a slow trickle, right? We've had one senior general that has broke with the regime. We've had a colonel break with the regime. But we're talking about a country that has thousands of general officers. And so the minute we start seeing sort of, dozens of senior military breaking ranks, where we have military institutions or branches within the military starting to break off, until that starts to happen, the military, will continue to sort of remain squarely behind the regime.
Venezuela's ex-spy chief has also defected. Yeah. How significant is that?
Well, we don't know yet. I mean, he gave a breaking, report to the media, sort of outlining the widespread corruption and some of the issues going on. Again, it's a stain against the regime, but it's not yet an indication that the military has fractured or that the intelligence services have fractured and that they've moved away from Maduro. And until that happens, Maduro probably is going to, continue to try to weather the storm.
All right. Brian Fonseca, appreciate you being with us. Thanks for breaking that down.